Hey Snackers, this is Kareem Iskander.
Hey everyone, Matt DeNapoli here.
Welcome to episode 210 of Snack Minute.
This week we have an old friend and a new friend. Our old friend Adrian's here from the DevNet team, a PE dev advocate. And then we also have Rick who's with us. And they're going to talk to us about a new book they authored that I think will touch on some of our snackers' main concerns. But before we get into it, I did a little intro, but why don't you guys introduce yourself? We'll go with Adrian first, then we'll go with Rick.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thanks, guys, for having me back again here. It's always a pleasure to come back on these Snack Minutes. So my name is Adrian and Iliesiu. I'm a developer advocate with Cisco DevNet. I've been working with all of these guys now. Kareem is learning, still working with Matt closely. And Rick, it's been an absolute pleasure working on the book that we're talking about today. So yeah, that's me. Looking forward to this episode and talking about this book that we have with Rick coming out.
Good to have you on, bud.
Always a pleasure, like I said. Thanks for having me, guys.
And I'm Rick Graziani. I'm usually referred to the one that's old. So that was kind of nuts.
Rick, you're the most handsome Rick that I know. Okay, let's get that way.
Yeah, the only Rick, you know. Yeah, my name's Rick. I teach, for many years at Cabrillo College and also UC Santa Cruz. I've also had the pleasure of working part-time for Cisco and the Networking Academy on their curriculum development team for many years. So, and getting to write books. This was an absolute joy with my friend Adrian. And and I'm a big fan of Snack Minute.
Awesome. Good to have you on. Okay, guys, tell us a little bit about what is this book about? It's new. I'm assuming it's out already. Just tell our snackers a little bit about it.
So it's new. It's actually not out yet. It's coming out in May. So it's a bit of we're building
the hype.
Excitement for it. We're building excitement for it. We're going around and talking with different podcasters and people out there to kind of entice people to buy this book when it comes out in May. So it's coming, right?
What's the title?
The book it's a bit of a mouthful, but it's hands-on Cisco automation with Python.
Okay.
Streamline network tasks using Netmiko, NAPALM, and Nornir for beginners.
Awesome.
Right. So this was basically Rick's idea. Okay. So how it went, the story. Let me give you a bit of background here. So I've been working with Rick now, all the way back in LA, right? When we're doing WASDC, the Western Academy. It was 7-8 years ago, right? So we've been, going back and forth, super good friends. And what was it, like a year ago or so, Rick, because he's been trying to teach the DevNet course to his students, right? The DevNet associate we're talking about, right? Through NetAcad. So he was trying to teach his students and then people, different folks out there. And he has noticed, and I'm sorry for putting words into your mouth, Rick, now, but he has noticed kind of a gap in between, your CCNA folks, CCNA route and switch that have been going through the NetAcad courses and they've been taking the certification and they're comfortable with routing and switching and troubleshooting and VLANs and OSPF and all of that. And for those folks transitioning to automation, right, it's difficult. And we've also noticed this in Cisco DevNet now for a while. So it's not easy for them, especially since most of them have been trying to run away from coding and kind of hide into, networking in a way. So we're coming back at them and telling them, hey, you need to learn Python and you need to know REST APIs and you need to know all these programming concepts that they've kind of tried to run away from, like I was saying, right? So it doesn't come natural necessarily to them. So we've seen an opportunity here for us to build that gap. Right? It's like, hey, it's not as complicated as you think it is, right? If you throw them right into CCNA automation now, we could see how they could feel intimidated, right, and lost. So we're trying to build that gap in between, hey, your CLI in and out, or, at the CCNA level, you're comfortable in the CLI, but we're also going to try to show you that it's not that complicated to make the jump into automation, right? So we've taken all the steps, and this is basically what Rick has done most of the work on this. So Rick, please tell actually your piece, because it's mostly you here.
Yeah, Rick, can you dig in a little bit to the
Yeah.
content? And,
So, in teaching even CCNA students, we talk a little bit about automation, virtualization, but when we get into the automation and talk a little bit about RESTConf and NetConf, we start throwing things at them that they have no idea what we're talking about. We're talking about, maybe they're familiar with Python, maybe not. I have this, automation, programmability, and beyond type of thing where, it's my first lab in automation, and it shows them, I got to know VirtualBox, VMs, JSON, REST APIs, RPCs, NetConf, and how do you get started with all of this? And so I started a few years back looking at some simpler tools like Netmiko and NAPALM. And it's such an easy lift for students. First of all, you don't need to know Yang models and API and structured data, with Netmiko. The CLI commands are familiar. You don't need a special iOS. You could use traditional iOS. All you need to do is SSH into the device. And the other nice thing is you don't even have to know much Python. The very first program that we show in the book, and when I've been presenting on this in the past, is a little Netmiko program that basically is just somebody that's doesn't even know Python could look at this program and go, oh, it looks like it's connecting to some device with this IP address. Here's the credentials, username, password, and it's a familiar CLI command. Okay, I got this. It's such an easier first step. And then when you add on NAPALM to it, they can begin to be introduced into the world of structured data. And my whole idea was to get started, you don't need to know much Python, very little, and you don't need to know much Cisco iOS. But the more you learn of both of those, the more you'll be able to do with these tools. And then when you feel comfortable with these, and these are tools that are used widely in the industry already, but it also prepares you for things like RESTConf, NetConf, and other tools as well.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you're building on top of their CCNA skills and saying, hey, as you're going through CCNA or you've accomplished your CCNA certification, you know enough iOS commands that now you can spin up an automation script leveraging the skills that you used in CCNA or you learned in CCNA throughout your CCNA certification. And so that kind of removes the friction of, automation is scary, and closes the gap on, hey, I actually like automation. And I don't like living in the CLI. And you've kind of removed this black hole of, automation. No, I don't know Python. And maybe
that's
you
something
don't need Python.
Yeah, and that's something that we struggled with. I mean, DevNet's been talking about this migration to automation for almost 15 years now. And, I think I don't want to call it necessarily a mistake, but probably a mistake, it might be the right word, is that we went in and we said, here's REST APIs, here's Python, and here's tasks that have nothing to do with network engineering. And I was always kind of a head scratcher for me, but I came from the software world. So that part to me was relatively natural. But I could see everyone. I mean, and we still have these same conversations for the last 15 years. You go to Cisco Live, you go on the forums, and people are saying, how do I get started? And we were trying to shove at them this information that had no context. And that's what I appreciate about what it sounds like the approach you've taken from the book is to say, here's the context from what you know in the CCNA side, or even what you do in your job. We're going to Adrian's exact point, bridge that gap. And then, because the CCNA automation, which was the previous DevNet certification, it made gross assumptions, I would say, in that gap space. And I think, you know, it seems so clear now that you guys talk about it, but man, it's taken us 10 years to get to this point to say, hey, let's write a book about it.
But
So I appreciate you approaching it from that way.
I think there's also the transition period. I think the market back then, the network engineer was brand new to this automation, and so the time that you're bringing this in today, everybody's familiar with that and they're familiar with the DevNet motion around getting into automation, and so bringing this book in to the mix, I think, is timely, and I think it makes sense because now you don't have to explain what network automation is, right? People
Yeah, that's
already know
true.
it, which is something that we've done. We spent hours and days and nights on what is network automation? Why should you care about network automation? Now people see the value in network automation, and we're saying, hey, maybe now you should go look into AI as well, right? And
Yeah.
so now that they're used to it, we got to change it again. But anyway, that's a side conversation.
But I do think that, besides, the students, it's also a lot of seasoned network engineers that they didn't come from a software development background.
Exactly.
And they feel like the world of automation programmability, everybody's way ahead of them. And how do they get started? And I've gotten many emails and messages from people that are seasoned out there that was like, this is what I needed to get started.
Yeah. That's
Okay, I have a question for you guys. So, how are you approaching in the book? And give us a little bit of a sneak peek here. In the book, it's about automation, right? So it's about coding, but you're giving them a book. So
Yeah.
what do I expect to, in parallel to my book, as I'm reading, to be able to get that hands on? How do I do that?
Well, it's very much a lot of all the code is in there.
Mhm.
And we give them, they'll have access to all the code. And the code is, everything's explained. I'm very simple-minded.
Same.
Especially in writing a book, you can't assume that you're not going to get feedback as you're explaining something. So I need everything simply explained to me, or I get lost. And I think what we've tried to do in this book is make it so if you know a lot of Python, you can skip a lot of the explanations about Python. But basically, all you have to know is a little bit about what a variable is. And if you know a for loop, that'll help get you started. But after that, we really walk you through it.
And even that we explain, okay, like what's a variable and what's a for loop. So even that, we go into that type of explanation. But the nice thing also is that we're building on the knowledge, right? So you start with Netmiko, like Rick was saying, which is, the simplest way of library that you can use to just SSH into a device, right? And then we take it to the next level with NAPALM, and there's, it's structured data. There's a Python dictionary. There's a bit of vendor abstraction, so you don't need to worry if it's a Cisco device, or if it's an Arista, or if it's a Juniper, whatever it is. You still get that structured data back. So we're introducing that to them, right? That abstraction level. And then we take it to the next level with Nornir, where it's like, this really multi-threaded, high skill type of environments, right? Where you can actually take it to a production type of network or infrastructure. So we're starting really, really basic, like Rick was saying, with 2 lines of code, right? Import Netmiko and then connect to a device. Here's the credentials, here's the IP address. And then based on that, we build, and by the end of the book, right, hopefully they're more comfortable. They have access to all the code. They can modify the code, right, very easily. And then see that journey of, hey, we started with 3 lines of code, and now we're making changes on 10,000 devices, with Nornir at the same time. And it takes us, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it is. I'm excited for folks to actually start reading this and give us feedback, because it's really a cool book. So,
and even the stuff on the structured data, I always, the way we introduce and the way I always introduce it, the good news about using things like, structured data is that the data is structured. The bad news is the data is structured. Now, what do I do with it? And I think that's one thing that scares people when they start with something like RESTconf or NetConf. They see, this is great. now what?
Getting DeNapoli. What is that?
We tried to show them a little bit, okay, talk about what it is, what the advantages are, and then how to deal with that structured data.
At any point, do you talk to them about like, this is what it used to be with XML, where you had to get XML back from an API endpoint and traverses? You should be thankful that now it's JSON, or no?
No, we didn't want to make it that complicated. I mean, let bygones be bygones. We're not gonna bring that back, right? We're not gonna bring it to something that.
Who are you? Yeah.
Gentlemen, unfortunately, we are getting to the point of time here. Before we go, real quick, is there a publish date where people can expect to purchase your fantastic book?
Yeah, so May 20th on the Cisco Press website, right? That's when it's coming out. The book is really final stages at this point.
Okay.
And May 20th, folks, like I said, it's coming out. Make sure you check it on Cisco Press. It's going to be on Amazon.
Pre-order it.
You can pre-order it. Exactly. Good point, Rick.
Or wait for the movie.
I got Vin Diesel hopefully for me, and
oh my God, I was just gonna say Vin Diesel's gonna play Adrian.
For Rick. We'll get a Brad Pitt for Rick.
That's perfect. Well, so before we let you guys go, Rick, you are a first timer, and so for all our first timers, we ask, what superpower would you wish to have and why?
Well, the superpower I have now is I'm simple-minded, which is, and that's when I think I would like to continue to evolve. Because sometimes it's so easy after the more experience you get in this industry, you tend to lose sight of that with the audience. And especially, I'm fortunate. I deal with students that are smarter than me every day, but they're beginning their journey. And it reminds me every day that we have an audience of people that are just beginning. They're not where, as we progress through in our experience, we think everybody has that same experience, but there's generations after us that are just beginning their journey. So,
well, now I still don't have my CCNA.
Yeah, I didn't mention that, by the way, and I always.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I can vouch for that. Rick has an exceptional way of explaining things, right? It's like making it so easy, and just reading the book, because I wrote the chapters, but then he goes and it's like, okay, let me apply the Rick treatment to my chapters, and then they come back to me, and it's just an uncanny, incredible gift of simplifying and making things very easy to understand. So
you take really for granted, right, Adrian?
Yeah. And that's a skill set on its own. I mean, Rick you've been in education for forever, right? And so that kind of is a skill that you acquire while working with students and trying to simplify topics to get to them.
Yeah, so I really appreciate Rick taking me on this journey, and hope we'll be on the next on another one, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for joining us this week, Snackers. I hope you go and check out Rick and Adrian's book. It sounds actually really interesting and a great way to bridge that gap from your classic CCNA education into the automation space. So thank you guys so much for sharing with us. We hope it's flying off the shelves for you. And so go check that out on Cisco Press. And thank you guys for joining us this week.
Thanks, guys. Thank you, Snackers.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having us.
Cheers.